Hello everybody, this is Mango Oblivion Plays, and today I'm going to be going over the Donkey Kong Bonanza Nintendo Direct that happened today, the 18th of June. Donkey Kong Bonanza was revealed in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct with limited details, but now they've given us some more looks and peeks into this game, which should be coming out in about a month. Let's get started. First of all, the game is set on an island called Ingot Isle. And this island is home to mysterious crystals that look like bananas, which is obviously why Donkey Kong is interested in being here. Underneath the island, there are layers of earth, and each layer has a different various biome, like a jungle, a desert, a tundra, much like Mario Odyssey was, where each individual area had its own thing as we traveled across the world. In Donkey Kong Bonanza, we're going down into the earth, and each layer of earth has a different theming to it. There are some companions in the game that we are going to be seeing as we travel around. The first is going to be this odd rock. It's purple, it has blue eyes, it looks very weird, it's got some tape on it, and it can help you eliminate obstacles created by the villains of the game. So it's kind of important that you have this rock with you, otherwise you can't move on. It turns out later that this odd rock is actually Pauline from Super Mario Odyssey, but much younger. And she can sing and she has some other hidden powers that she's going to be helping you with. Basically, consider Pauline to be the Cappy of this game. She's going to be clinging to Donkey Kong's back, and you're going to use her for different powers. There are some other companions that'll be around, including Cranky Kong and his companion Rampy, which is a rhinoceros. And then Diddy and Dixie Kong also appeared in the direct. We're not really sure what they will do in the game, but we know that they're there. So that's good to know. So let's talk about the goals of the game. There are two main goals of Donkey Kong Bonanza. The first is to collect Banadium gems, which are these huge banana-shaped gems. These are essentially the moons of Donkey Kong Bonanza. The second is to get Pauline to the core of the planet because presumably or supposedly if you get to the core of this area all the way down to the core of the earth, you get a wish granted. Pauline wants to have her wish granted, so the two of you are going to team up, Donkey Kong to get bananas, Pauline to get her wish granted. DK is going to have a ton of abilities in this game, and here's just a couple of them, but I've got a few more written down. They're mostly surrounding his strength. He can punch and smash enemies. The terrain is breakable, so you can punch and destroy it. You can break chunks of it off. He can clap his hands to create sonar waves so he can see inside of Turth because sometimes stuff is buried in there. Um, and he can use all these different things. Some other interesting things he can do, he can jump up and then punch straight down to dive into the ground. He can do a lot of different things by pulling chunks of earth out and throwing and swinging them, kind of like how you could do with Cappy and Odyssey. And you can even use them to like surf on ground. Um, you also um, the other thing that you can do is that with Pauline, you can make music, and this is going to be used to remove seals that block your way. So that's pretty cool. You have lots of different things that Donkey Kong can do just in base form here. There are also going to be elders buried underneath in these underground areas, and these elders are giants, and they can teach Donkey Kong and Pauline new abilities. They are the animals that are prevalent on each layer, and they've shown off a couple of those animals so far. There are Kongs, there are the zebras, and they also showed off an ostrich-like character. And so these elders are going to teach Pauline and Donkey Kong new abilities. These new abilities are transformations. So each time an elder teaches Pauline a song, and that song can be used to transform Donkey Kong. Three of these transformations have been revealed. I'm sure there's going to be more than three. The first one they showed off is called the Kong Bonanza, which makes him a bigger gorilla, makes him stronger. And the next one is the Zebra Bonanza, which makes him faster, so he can run more quickly. So it's a mobility ability. And then the Ostrich Bonanza gives him the ability to fly and drop eggs on enemies. So kind of like a Banjo Kazooie sort of transformation there. Throughout the game, there will be ancient ruins scattered around with challenge courses within. This is kind of like how in Odyssey there are those doors with the top hats on them, where there were challenges on the inside where you could get moons and stuff. These are similar. You can go to these and you can unlock various challenges to get rewards. There are timed battles in these. There are various obstacle courses you can do, and there's also side-scrolling adventures like traditional Donkey Kong games. Also new in this game is the skill point tree for Donkey Kong. As you can see, you can earn skill points by completing challenges and doing other things to upgrade Donkey Kong's stats and teach him new skills. So, for instance, you can increase how many hearts Donkey Kong has. You can make his punching stronger. You can make it so that his sonar is better. So, as you can see here, by upgrading your sonar, you can see further away by clapping your hands. You can also learn new abilities like surfing on water with chunks of rock you've picked up. So this skill point tree is going to be very important going through the game, it seems like. There are three main items we're going to be running around and running into a lot as the game goes on. The first one is the vanadium chip. It's basically a banana chip looking gem. These are traded in at special areas for vanadium gems. So the big bananas you get by trading in the chips. There's also gold scattered throughout the world. That gold is collected and then you can give it to players to get items that can help you in the game. Finally, there are also fossils buried in the ground, and you can trade in fossils for clothing items, which we'll talk about a little later. Hey, it's a little later. Donkey Kong and Pauline can wear outfits in Bonanza, and unlike in Super Mario Odyssey, these outfits are not cosmetic. These outfits boost stats and grant effects. So, for instance, they showed off like a swimming trunks looking outfit for Donkey Kong, and that increased his swim speed. So there are lots of different outfits that they can wear, and unlike in Mario, they are going to actually give us benefits, which is cool. Now, the enemies of the game are called the Void Company. They are a mining company on Ingot Isle, and they are trying to get the same stuff we are. They want the vanadium gems for themselves. They also want to get to the core of the world, and they are the ones that are stopping us from getting down there. So defeating them is going to be one of the main points of the game. There are three main members of the Void Company. There's Grumpy Kong, who's this big guy on the left here. He is kind of their strength mining operations sort of dude. We've got Poppy Kong, who is the stylishly dressed woman on the right, and she is all about intelligence gathering, kind of like a spy. And then Void Kong is the middle monkey, and he is the boss. He is the big bad, the Bowser, if you will, of the Void Company. Throughout the map, there are places where you can create what's called a getaway. So basically, like a little home for Donkey Kong and Pauline to rest. This is basically going to be like the Odyssey ship, where you can go and refill your hearts and do some other important things as well. You can change your clothes here, and there's also a music box, much like Odyssey had, where you can change the music of the world. The music player is going to have lots of different music in it. As you can see, 110 songs in this screenshot from the direct itself. So you can change the music. There's going to be music from the game, but there's also some that are retro music, I assume, as well. And you can find these discs by completing challenges, but also by defeating enemies. Sometimes they'll pop out, and you'll be able to take those and add them to your music player. Just like in Mario Odyssey, there will be a fast travel system as well. If you remember in Odyssey, there were paintings that let you travel between worlds. In this game, there are eels that will help you travel between the layers of the world, as you can see in this top picture here. In this one, Donkey Kong is going to travel from the top level to the third level. So he hops in the eel, and the eel will spit him out on the third level. You can also use these eels to, as they kind of teased, teleport, which is basically fast travel on the layer you're on. Just like in Mario Odyssey, if you want to head back to an area that you've created a check mark at, you can poof using an eel to that area as well. Just like in a lot of modern Mario and Nintendo games, there is going to be a photo mode in this game. You can pause wherever you are, even in the middle of cutscenes, and you can take photos. You can add effects to them. You can you can put on filters. There's lots of different things you can do with these photos, but you can make really cool snapshots that you can then share if you feel like it. Also, just like in Mario Odyssey, there will be a two-player co-op. In Mario Odyssey, the second player controlled Cappy. In Super Mario Galaxy, you got to like grab the little star bits. In this one, you're going to control Pauline. You're going to use the Joy-Con as a mouse, and you're going to be able to basically yell words from Pauline, and they are going to shoot out like missiles, and you can hit stuff with those. You can also change what the words are made out of, so you can turn it into a heavier, denser material to make it easier to break things. So a little bit better two-player co-op mode for this game than in the past. Some other information in the game. The first thing is the mode called DK Artist. Basically, this is like the Super Mario 64 little thing where you could like spin and mess with the face. You basically get to do that with basically rock. So you can sculpt and paint these things to make it to look however you want. So as you can see here, this is a DK face that they're going to paint. Somebody made a pizza. They showed off a couple different things. They showed off like a Mario and a Bowser. So there's lots of different um, creative outlets for people who are looking to do something cool like that. And then they also talked about how Amiibo is going to be usable in this game. All current Amiibos that are out are usable in Donkey Kong Bonanza. There will be a brand new Amiibo featuring Donkey Kong and Pauline that comes out the day the game releases that you can use. Um, and using that Amiibo is going to give you a special outfit for Pauline. Um, if you use any of the Donkey Kong specific amiibos that are already out, they're going to give you these old school Kong letters that you can use to slam into things. And then if you use any amiibo that's not a Donkey Kong related amiibo, they're going to give you these balls of rock that you can then throw around in the game. That's all the information we have so far on DK Bonanza. It's looking to be quite the game, taking Super Mario Odyssey to the next level. I think it's going to be really fun to play, and I hope you're as excited about it as I am. Donkey Kong Bonanza is releasing July 17th, and pre-orders are now live on the Nintendo eShop, but I already have mine pre-ordered through GameStop. So, I hope you're excited to play Donkey Kong Bonanza. This has been Mango Oblivion Plays, and we'll see you again soon.